Hey, what is up, spiritual hooligan? Are you a high conscious person who's been developing yourself, but you aren't experiencing the positivity and joy that you know you're capable of? Because I've been coaching high conscious people like you for about 25 years, and I'm just blown away by how many powerful people I meet, like you. People who are capable of living positive, joy filled lives, but you still get mired and stuck in the negativity. For most people, the life that you're living, the life that you set up actually keeps you trapped in survival consciousness, and therefore your life keeps you from feeling the peace of mind that you know you can achieve. So today, I'm going to give you 2 enlightened perspectives, 1 enlightened skill, and we're going to do 2 exercises that are going to help create a graceful way for you to get back to positivity and finally feel that joy that you know is possible. My name is Matthew Ferry, and I am bringing you your daily enlightenment. It's your moment to pause, to slow down, to get connected to enlightened perspectives. I want to help you to quiet your mind and restore your peace. So we're going to start by taking a deep breath in through the nose. Do that now. Hold your breath as long as you can. Close your eyes with me if that's appropriate. If it's not, don't worry about it. You don't need to. But just keep taking long, slow, deep breaths, holding them as long as you can. Even if you're just watching the video, just pause with me together. Let's get all the stresses and concerns of survival consciousness to fade away. And we'll do it by setting our intention for enlightened consciousness to flow through. So take another long, slow, deep breath. Hold that breath and repeat after me. Please set the intention for enlightened consciousness to flow through, to experience the purity of my own consciousness, to know that all is well, to embrace life, people, and circumstances exactly as they are. Please set the intention to release my need for things to be different, to practice total and complete acceptance of all people in all situations at all times, including myself. Now I want you to keep breathing. Push yourself to stay present with me. Connect with this idea that all is well, and it is expressed in my definition of enlightenment, which is the recognition that the source of life for you is the source of life for everyone and everything, that we are all one thing, expressing itself with infinite variety. Now take a deep breath in and contemplate this question. Where is all the joy and the positivity that our teachers promised us over the years? Where is it? Today, I want to explore the idea of getting the positivity and the joy back into your life. We're going to do it using the rapid enlightenment process, and this is a 4-part process that I talk about in my book and in my events and blah, 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 okay? And it is 4 things. 1, rising above the mind chatter of the drunk monkey and its unconscious reflexes. 2, releasing the hidden motives to survive, which are the source of negative thinking. 3, transcending dogma by addressing things as to whether they strengthen or weaken the body rather than if I believe them or not. And then 4, recontextualizing your reality to create peace. And that's what we're going to do today. Recontextualization is the skill of describing the conditions and the circumstances of your life in a way that create an empowering reality for you. I say it like this just in jest, but if you're going to make things up, you might as well make things up that feel good and empower you. So today I want to give you 2 enlightened perspectives, new ways to make things up. 1 new skill, a recontextualization process, and 2 exercises that'll help you to create a graceful way to get back to that positivity and feel that joy that you know is possible. Take a deep breath in with me right now. Hold your breath. And I want you to receive this new context. Number 1, most of the time, you craft a reality with habitual language to fit with your old, unexamined point of view that you don't enjoy. You craft a reality with your habitual point of view, your old language, your old perspectives, your unexamined point of view that you don't even enjoy. You continue to speak about your life in a way that creates limitation. This keeps you limited to what you have experienced, what you've accomplished, and what you're feeling. By continuing to use the same language over and over and over and over, you keep yourself trapped. Now there's a couple of layers deep, because our mentors have told us this. Our mentors have said something like, change your language, change your life. And while that is a fabulous motto, it doesn't actually get to the core of it. Because how do you change your language? You have to recognize that your language is an expression of the energy and the information that are coming through or self-organizing. Let's call this energy and information your soul. So there's the energy and information that's in the field, the background field of all things. We call that God or universal consciousness or creative force, whatever you want. And then there are those aspects, those little aspects of it that are you. So just like the tree is one aspect, the tree is also the same thing as everything. It's just organized in a different way. So what keeps us stuck is the energy and the information in our soul. And part of what our soul is expressing is essentially memory of all of our existences. And we see this as we come in, or we watch our children grow and we go, wow, how did that child think like that? Nobody taught him to do that. How did they have that perspective? Nobody taught them to do that. Why do they think in that way? No one taught them to do that. I mean, it would be nice if we could blame everything on our cultural conditioning, but you and I both know we've done a lot of work, haven't we? We've done a lot of work on our cultural conditioning, and we still get stuck. We still get taken out. So karma, intentions, vows, purposes, and the biggest source of karma is going to be thought-based karma, that previous incarnations of you or previous incarnations of whatever you are. I don't know if you've lived multiple human lifetimes, though it muscle tests strong that you have, but that doesn't mean it's true. It's just new enlightening dogma. But what we can absolutely conclude is that there is a part of your soul, your energy and information, that is actually limiting you. And your job, I think what the Buddha was telling us, my interpretation at least, is seek to speak, think, and operate with integrity. And what is integrity? It's just workability, it's just functionality, it's just things coming together like this and working well together. And your language is key. So number 2, your language is the trap. Your language is the trap. And if you watch my daily enlightenments on a regular basis, then your level of consciousness is increasing, meaning you're seeing way more than what you were seeing before. And you are working to accept the things that you see. So you're seeing the innocence in people more often. You may not accept it fully yet, but you're working to accept it. This is raising your level of consciousness. But here's the problem. Your consciousness is going up, but your language is staying the same. Your language is trapping you in the experiences of the old version of you. And let's be honest, you probably have learned a lot of language from your mentors in the New Age community. And I hate to tell you this, I want you to notice, I use some of that language, but I use a lot of other language too. And I'm going to request that you really work to upgrade your language. Your language, even the New Age language, is trapping you in the experiences of the old version of you. But let's just get brass tacks. Old complaints keep you trapped. See, can you change your language to be grateful for the things that you have complained about in the past? This is enlightened gratitude, where you go, the world is a bad place, and I'm grateful for it in this way. I was hurt a lot when I was a child, and I am grateful for it for these reasons. I was being treated unfairly over here in this area, and here's why I'm grateful for that. This is not you putting yourself in a degrading position. That's not it at all. It's actually you recontextualizing the situation to be an empowering state for you. There is positive and negative in everything, and you get to choose which way you point that powerful contextualizing thing that you have in you. Habitual survival conversations need to be released. I need this to be happy. Why do other people have more than me? I really want more. I don't have enough. This is greed, right? Greeds, grudges. These are the hidden motives to survive. Greed, grudge, hatred, victim, illogical rules. Being humble. This needs to be released. Being a traitor, keeping yourself hidden. I can't tell people because if I do, then this bad thing's going to happen to me. You don't understand, Matthew. My mom treated me poorly when I was a kid. I have to protect myself from the world because I'm a very spiritually sensitive person. And that's, I can't go into those environments, right? That language keeps you trapped. It doesn't open you up to creativity. It doesn't open you up to optimism. It keeps you confined. Gossiping. Well, the president, and he shouldn't, and and it's so bad, and the government, and you don't understand, and in our area. This is gossip. It's complaining. It's also pointing out the negatives in the world, and I just want you to know, the world is a more positive place than it has ever been in the history of mankind. But our information dissemination is also simultaneously greater than it's ever been. And how do we get people to pay attention to information? We use survival consciousness. We use the triggers of the drunk monkey to pull people in. And you have bought some of that stuff, hook, line, and sinker. Regurgitating the news, throw it out. Watching the news, throw it out. Indulging the drunk monkey. The world is going to shit, Matthew. You don't understand. These things over here, they're blowing things up, and those people are ruining the world, and the ocean is falling apart, and right, all of this stuff. While certainly there are effects that aren't desired in the world, just because you have a desire for them doesn't mean that they're wrong if they aren't going your direction. Warning people about bad things keeps you trapped. So take a deep breath in. Hold your breath. Set your intention to release the language that is trapping you in a degrading mindset, in a degrading reality. Let's talk about number 3. Let's talk about the skill. The skill is recontextualization. And recontextualization is a skill. And if you practice it on a regular basis, you will feel more and more positivity each and every day. Because when things happen that you don't desire, and when you encounter something you don't desire, you have a language pattern that you use that screws you over. That's bad. I don't like that. And while that may have an essence of truth, that's bad, I don't like that. Both of those are just positions. Both of those are just you arbitrarily saying this is good and that is bad. But what happens when you go, I'm neutral about that? What happens when you say, I can appreciate why that's happening, and I'm going to really seek to understand why those people are behaving in that way, and I'm going to really work to understand why am I having such a negative reaction to it? So when you start to take life on in that way, everything changes. You connect with enlightened perspectives when you tune in, for example, to enlightened material. So maybe you're tuning in to your mentors. Maybe you're tuning in to the daily enlightenment. Whatever it is, you actually, through repetition, you practice over and over and over, tuning into these enlightened perspectives. And I think, for me, the most important thing about enlightened perspectives is enlightened perspectives better have something to do with what I'm dealing with today. I don't care what people were dealing with 5,000 years ago. It doesn't make any difference for me. What's the relevance today? This is what you need to be in the hunt for, the relevance for today. Don't be that person who can recite all of the spiritual bumper sticker wisdom, right? But not applying it to your present day moment. And if you stop practicing enlightened perspectives, your habitual survival perspectives, they will pull you back into survival mode. And so if you're experiencing conflict, fret, worry, mind chatter, fantasizing about negative futures, it's because you've connected with survival consciousness. And what there is to do is to go back to your skill of recontextualization. I wrote about it in my book. I'd love for you to just go to my website and look into some of my recontextualization skill practices. Take this on. But let's do an awareness exercise. I got 2 of them. Awareness exercise. What is something that you don't want to have happen in the world, but unfortunately it's still happening? Think of something that you don't want to have happening in the world, in your world. Not in the world, in your world. But unfortunately, it's still happening. You're getting older. Your industry is slowly becoming irrelevant. Your children aren't behaving the way you want. Stuff like that. So here's the question I have for you. What are you saying about it? So just say what you're saying about it in your head right now. I don't like that. That pisses me off. I wish they didn't do that. I wish the world wasn't like that. Why can't I? I have to. I need to. See, is your language justifying the reality that you don't want? I believe that it is. And if so, then you'll continue to be the victim of a reality you created with your description, with your language. So the 5th thing that I have for you today is the second exercise, and it's a language exercise. I want you to today practice choosing the reality that you want, and then craft the language in a way that creates an empowering reality for you. And reality, my friend, is defined as the experience that you're having of the situation. That's reality. The experience that you're having influences the nuances of your behavior, of your actions. And those actions produce results. And then those results are the reality you're living because you're experiencing the results. And it goes in this circle. It's context, behavior, results, experience. You experience through context, behavior, actions, results. You're experiencing through your context, the language that you use. I request that you begin to use a language that always implies all is well. I request that you right now set your intention to use language that always implies all is well. Okay, so I got a question for you. What is the new language, the new recontextualization that you will start to use that matches where you are in your level of consciousness, that creates an empowering reality for you? Leave that in the comments below. Let me help you to tune it up. And I will. If you say, this is the reality I'm creating, blah, 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 I'll say, what have you thought about this? Or have you tried that? Let me coach you through this process. My name is Matthew Ferry, author of Quiet Mind, Epic Life. And will you make sure to like this video? Will you share this video also? Share it with other spiritual hooligans like you who you know could benefit from it. And then also leave me a comment, because those 3 things tell YouTube that this video is something that other people should watch. So it means a lot to me, but it actually makes a difference in the world because YouTube will serve this video up to more people like you and me. If you dig the things that I'm saying, subscribe to my videos. You can also press the little bell button there, and that'll create a little reminder. And I think if you've been watching these for a while and you haven't joined us in the Spiritual Hooligan Facebook group, come on. There's people like you and I. We're all interacting together. We're all communing together. We're discussing these topics. We're fully engaged. We would love for you to be a part of our community. I'll put the link below. Just make a request to join the group. We'll let you in, okay? So thanks again for tuning in to this daily enlightenment.